host, Alice Quinn, and today I have a treat for all of you viewers. I have with me today the very well-known author, Mr. Paul Sheldon. Paul Sheldon is the famed novelist behind the highly successful romance novels starring the well-loved character Misery Chastain. So how are you doing today, Paul?
I'm doing okay, Alice. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Paul. So, for those of you who do not know, Paul has decided to head west to California for some rest and relaxation after working hard on his many novels. Isn't that right, Paul?
Yeah?
While on his way to California, Paul is caught in a blizzard and his car flew like the Andean vulture off the road and into the snow. Isn't that right, Paul?
Well, I wouldn't say it flew like an Andean vulture, but...
Well, Paul is caught in the snow and lies there, seriously injured and helpless. He is then rescued by a former nurse named Annie Wilkes, who brought him to her remote home and held him hostage as a prisoner. Now, Paul, many of your fans, as well as myself, are dying to know what happened, and I hear that you are willing to give us the inside scoop about everything. So, what were you thinking when you opened your eyes after the accident and you were in this really strange place?
Well, I was really confused and scared. Not only did I not know where I was, but I didn't know how I got there and who this strange woman was. I had no idea what was coming and how miserable I would be in the time to come. I saw this strange woman and didn't know who she was. She was creepy and I didn't like her from the moment I met her. Annie somehow managed to bring me from the site of the accident to her house while I was unconscious, and I did not know how. The only thing that I could tell at this point was that she was not like other people. She was very different.
Okay, Paul. So, what would you say was the strangest thing about Annie?
Well, there was a lot of strange things about Annie. To sum it up, she was an insane woman who loved torturing me and forced me to write a new misery novel in which I revived misery. Annie was cunning and expressed her anger with strange childish words like dirty birdie or cockadoodie. She would lose her temper and go wild at the strangest things. She was brutal and took pleasure in torturing and killing anyone or anything. By far, the strangest and creepiest thing about Annie, I would have to say, is this scrapbook that I found. It was called Memory Lane.
Paul, what was this memory lane and how did you find it? Weren't you locked in your room? And how did you get out without Annie seeing you?
Well, one rainy day, Annie wanted to commit suicide together, but I managed to dissuade her, and instead she decided to take a drive far away. Annie's mood always changed when the rain comes. From this time, when she left, she gave me some pills, but left me no food at all. I saw Annie leaving as the perfect opportunity to make an escape, so I decided to use my wheelchair to get out of the room. Since she locked the door, I had to use a hairpin to unlock the door so I could get out. All the doors and windows were locked, so it would be pretty hard to escape. So I decided to try and explore the house to see if I could find anything to escape. I stumbled across Annie's living room and decided to look through her things. While looking through her things, I found an album called Memory Lane. I decided to open it and take a look inside. In this horrific album, she collected newspaper cuttings about many mysterious deaths, dating back over 30 years. These deaths included the death of some of her family, people in the hospital, people from her school, and even babies. After flipping through some of the pages, it all became clear to me. I realized that Annie killed all of them.
Oh my goodness, Paul, what were you feeling when you saw this? What were your thoughts? I know that if this were me, I would be horrified. You are in a murder's house. What did you do?
Once I figured out that Annie was a serial killer, I knew that I must kill her in order to survive. It was the only way. On my way back to my room, I took a butcher's knife from the kitchen and hid it, waiting for Annie to return. I needed to kill her, and I knew that wouldn't be easy.
So, Paul, what was going through your mind with those last few minutes with Annie?
I was thinking that it was never going to end. I tried almost everything to kill her, and nothing was working. I honestly thought that I was never going to get out of that place. First, I tried to kill her with the fire, but that didn't work. Then I started throwing the typewriter at her, but she was still going. At this point, I was thinking nothing would bring this woman down. I thought I would never kill her, but eventually she did die. But it wasn't the way that I wanted or expect. She died while she was in the barn because she was looking for a chainsaw to actually try to kill me. And I didn't get to see her die, but I guess I'm happy that I'm out of her house and done living in that misery.
So, Paul, how do you feel about Annie's death and how it occurred? Were you happy with the outcome, or were you upset? Tell us everything. I'm dying to know.
Well, it's kind of hard to say how you feel about someone's death, even as much as I hated Annie. As a person, it is something our minds cannot grasp. This is someone's life we are talking about here, and life, as I have learned from my experience, is a precious gift, and we cannot take it for granted. To me, Annie was like a goddess. I thought I would never kill her or escape her grasp, ever. She seemed invincible to me, and in my psychological state of mind at the time, I wanted to see her die so badly. I know that sounds completely sick, but it's true. To me, the end of Annie was not very satisfying because I did not get to physically kill her or see Annie die after all the suffering that she put me through.
You wanted to see Annie die?
Yes, I know that sounds cruel and wrong to say, and I would probably get a lot of hate from it, but it's true. Instead, she died in the barn where I could not see her suffer. After all the things I've done to kill her, it was ironic that the thing that killed her was the head injury from the typewriter. To me, it was a cheat. To tell you the truth, seeing Annie die would have given me some peace of mind. It would help me to realize that Annie is actually dead and that she cannot hurt me. This would have given me some closure and a sense of security, but instead, I am now haunted daily in my daydreams and nightmares by memories of Annie. I feel like she is still out to get me somehow. This lack of closure is affecting me psychologically, and although I sound crazy, I would have loved to see her die after all that I've been through.
Wow. Well, now that we know that this experience had many effects on Paul, we would like to now know, how do you feel about writing maybe another nonfiction book about what happened to you in that house?
If I were to write a nonfiction novel about what went on in that house, I would be writing and revisioning the worst horror of my life. I would be reliving my nightmare and the actions that made me go psychologically insane. Just to make a few bucks? I just don't think that someone could handle or comprehend something like that. I don't care how much money the book would make. I never want to relive that in any way, shape, or form again.
Do you ever think that you will recover from what happened to you at the Wilkes house?
Honestly, I don't think I will ever be the same after that horrible experience with Annie. It was terrible and has affected me in many ways. Obviously, you can see that I'm not the same after that. And I'm even psychologically changed from my experience with Annie. I have bad dreams about her, and it's really terribly affecting me in my head.
And now that you've survived these terrible experiences, do you feel like there are any positives that came out of it?
Well, obviously there's one positive. I wrote another part to Misery, but I don't really think there are any others. The whole experience was painful, and I never want to relive any part of it ever again. I probably would have never written the other part of Misery if it weren't for Annie and all the pain that I went through. But all that suffering, I just got a book out of it.
Okay, well that's all the time we have for today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you, Paul, for sharing with us all of your experiences. Until next time, this is Alice Quinn.